Hello, today I will be going over the BimmerTech front and rear view parking cameras. See my front camera mounted there on the front grille. And the backup camera right there. Nothing out of the normal. We'll go ahead and do a demo. Alright, to get the front camera operating, you have to hit up on the iDrive. And so you can see my my front carbon fiber lip there. I'll go and simulate trying to park. I'll do this and hold my phone at the same time. And you can actually drive with it on the entire time, and you could switch it on and off just by hitting the up on the iDrive knob. Demo. If that was the curb, I would have been okay. Let's go ahead and take a look again. You can see it. Alright, we'll demo the rear view. So put it in reverse and it will go, and you can see got a little bit of shadow here. Let me try to turn it some. Okay, you can see I have these lines that turn with the steering wheel. Go ahead. Try that again. Let me see if I can get a better view. Alright. Much better. So you can see I can turn these. Alright, and then I will try to park. Go ahead and try to park here. So as you can see, parking is a lot easier with the front and rear view parking cameras. Now let's talk about the install. Alright, on this car, you've seen on some of the videos, you cannot put the unit below the head unit here. And a good spot for it would be either behind here or somewhere wedged over on this side by the glove compartment. There's actually there was a recommended bar on one of their videos, but on this car there's like a wire or something attached for the USB, I believe it is. So it wasn't really available unless I wanted to disconnect that and let that wire flap around. Alright, it also said in the video that if you have the, I guess, mesh grill, that you can put the camera in there without taking off the bumper. Well, that is, I don't know if we can say that's really true or not, because you have to either cut the mesh bumper or the mesh grill, or you have to take the bumper off. I took my bumper off because I wanted to put the wires as neat as possible and make sure they were safe from all heat. And the install for the most part was pretty straightforward. You know, they have video and they have instruction. However, those instructions may have been a little bit outdated, and I had a manual car, obviously, and I thought I was done with the rear view camera. I wired the camera in the rear, got my kid seat there, went down the side into the BimmerTech module, and I thought I was done, so I went ahead and put all my trim back on, and it says that you have to do extra work if you have a manual, and I didn't know where it was asking me to wire. And it turns out that the place you have to send the wires to the trunk, there's a unit in the back that I guess is part of your tail lights or reverse lights. And anyways, they already pre-wire a wire to it, and so you have to run that wire from the front to the rear of the car, and you got to tap it. And see, here's the thing, they also didn't explain how to connect that. So I had the front view camera, and their instructions talk about splicing wires in one of their videos, and they only gave me one. So I had this one splice, and I was like, okay, well, I guess maybe it's for the front, maybe it's the power or something like that, just like the video is showing you splice the front camera for power. And anyway, so I figured what I'd do is I'd strip the wire to the car, and then wrap the reverse signal wire for the unit, if you will, and then just the electrical tape it up, and it works. If I had known that the wire splice would have worked for that, or was for that, I would have used it. And so I go and start the front camera install, and here's where all the frustration came in. First off, yes, you cannot stick this camera in the grill without either cutting the grill or taking the bumper off. Second, even after you get it all set up, you're like, okay, well, the video says splice wires, and it didn't make any sense because it looked like the unit that you currently get already has the power set up, right? But it didn't work. I couldn't get the camera to work. I couldn't figure out how to turn it on. The video says hold menu down for several seconds and it'll turn on, push the 8 button and the front camera will turn on, and I could not get this camera to turn on. And so I spent so long trying to troubleshoot, and I said, okay, well, here, let me tap the power cables to the front view camera power cable, and that didn't work. I only had one wire tap. So I was like, okay, great. Now I guess I got to go get another set of wire taps so I can do the ground. And so I had to borrow my wife's car, go out to AutoZone, get some new splices I go and I try and connect those, and sure enough, the camera still does not work. And so I basically just give up at this point. I put my car together, and I figured, okay, well, let me see what I can do. I get the car back together, and I put except for the up here, I put the front view camera into the rear view camera just to see if it would work if I put it in reverse, and sure enough, it did turn on. So I knew the camera worked. It turns out I actually installed it sideways. I had to go and adjust it and make it the right perspective, if you will. And so, okay, well, that works. So I figured, okay, well, I'll just wait and I'll call BimmerTech on Monday and put the car together, and I guess I start playing with it, and that's how I discovered pushing up makes the front view camera. Very frustrating experience. Not knowing that probably would have saved me hours. I literally spent hours trying to figure out why the front view camera didn't work, and I had to go to stores to get pieces that I didn't really need. And I could have used that splice on the rear view camera, so it would have been more professional looking than electrical tape. Anyways, once you get the install all set up, it's pretty good. So, you know, it's a pretty good front and rear view camera. The front camera is really good if you have a lowered car like I do, and a carbon fiber, I guess, under trim on your car's body. So, let's see. Is there anything? Oh, I also noticed that if that glass for the front view camera, there's like two glasses. There's like an outer protective glass, and of course the lens behind it. Well, the outer protective glass has already started cracking. I think it happened from pressure washing it. One day I was at the car wash and I just started hosing down there, and I think it put a little crack in it. You can't see it from the camera, but it's there. It'll crack all the way through sooner or later, but right now it's cracking from the inside. I'm gonna, I guess, ask BimmerTech if they sell those glass pieces to replace, or what the deal with that is. Anyways, hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.